Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Sharp Designs by Lakeisha, where I am designing my way through life and inspiring you to do the same. If you are new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss an upload from me. Today I'm bringing you guys along on this busy weekend I had 2 installations, one very small and one very big. Stay tuned to see how I put it all together. So this is what I have going on right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's one more under there somewhere. 8 bags of balloons blown up to use for my fillers. And then I've done this huge piece to start off my garland. There is another piece over here that I have blown up to get my garland started for the outside that I'm going to be doing today. There goes the extra bag I was talking about. And then I have 4 of these on stands that I made to do a balloon wall today. So I'm going to get this stuff loaded up onto the truck to see if I have any more space to blow up any more balloons. And then I will check back in with you guys to show you how the truck's loaded and get my morning started with you guys. I'm so excited for today's install. This is the biggest one that I've had to date. I prayed for more days like this, and I also have another install that I have to do before I actually go do this one, and I already have all of that stuff loaded up in the car as well. As you can see, my tree is up, and I will be posting that vlog shortly after or before this one. It'll probably go up before this one, so you guys will be seeing that actually before you see this. So, but yep, there goes my tree. I did that this weekend as well, and it looks so cute, guys. It came out so good. All right, so I just finished loading up the van, and as you can see, they are literally pressing up against the window. So I'm not gonna open it back up. I'll show you guys when we get there. But I have this thing packed from floor to ceiling with bags of balloons and all that stuff you saw in the living room. So I'll show you guys when we get there. And then for my first delivery, I am doing that in the car, and this is loaded down as well in the back seat, front seat, and I also have some in the trunk. Alright guys, so my first event install for the day was for Pop Brunch Social. I was setting up 2 balloon columns for them in the colors of blush, green, and champagne, and they came out super cute. If you have not seen my tutorial on how to recreate this, it was posted just before I did my Christmas tree setup vlog, so that was about 2 vlogs ago. So definitely check that out if you were interested in recreating this, or if you're in Atlanta and you would like me to come do it for you, you can inquire through my website. I am offering this as a service now. What was so perfect about this setup was that she did bring her own pole, so that meant I did not have to go back and pick them up, and she was also able to take them home with her to reuse, because these balloons do last for a while. Alright, and this is the grand finale of the day. I did have so much on my plate this weekend. I was supposed to be going to Seattle to see Kelvin, but I was unable to go because I got booked for this job that I could not turn down. So he surprised me and actually showed up that morning before the event, which really just made this all perfect. My mom was coming to help me, but because he came home, she didn't have to. So what I did was the 2 balloon garlands that I showed you at the house that I had pre-made, I did use those, and I attached them using the command hooks that you just saw to the storefront. And I just basically put those on as a base, and then, as I normally tell you guys in my balloon garland tutorials, I then had all those other bags with fillers that were pre-made that I did go back in and attached to this balloon garland after I got through shaping it how I wanted to, which is what I'm doing here now. And you can see how to do this on my tutorial I did on how to shape the balloon garlands. There's also another one on how to fill gaps that I'd show you guys how to do this method that I'm doing currently in the vlog, and that was with the Muppet Baby as the cover. And then the other one was for a christening that I did. It was how to shape balloon garlands. And so that's pretty much what I am doing here. Alright guys, so the sun is shining over here where I'm setting up the balloons, so I'm putting the trash bags over them to try to protect them from fading. The rest of them are shaded, so they're good to go, but I'm going to keep working. I don't know where Kelvin went. walked up. I took him 15-minute break. And so again, at this point in the garland, what I'm doing is using the method that I have showed you guys in the previous vlogs that I mentioned earlier, the how to shape balloon garlands and how to fill gaps in your balloon garland. Pretty much doing that to get the base of the balloon garland exactly shaped and as full as I want it to be. Well, it's about time. Come hold this bag for me. I don't have to go up and down and up and down and up and down.
Said I can walk over there?
I said 15-minute break.
Oh, man, now you're an evil ball.
I thought you meant you was going to look for it.
I was right here.
I didn't know you was in there. I would have put it in there. I would know you was in there. So what you guys are seeing me do now is take my clusters that I created ahead of time in those 8 bags that I showed you that were my fillers, and I'm going throughout the garland now that I have the base done and adding in those pops of color to give some contrast to the black. The tones for today's event were gold, black, white, silver, and marble. And so what I'm doing is going just throughout, as I said, just adding those pops of the different metallics into the garland. And at the base of the garland, you can see that I do still have the trash bags up, and that is because the sun does discolor balloons and causes them to pop. So until the sunset, I left the bags at the bottom of the balloon until I completed, and I took them off momentarily just to give you guys a quick shot of what the garland was looking like. It looked gorgeous. And now I'm about to head inside and get started on my next project, which will be the balloon wall. I had quite a few projects for this event. These are the 4 columns I showed you that were in the house that I'm using for my wall on today. Pretty much what I did was just go and link the columns together using the clusters that I made that were again in the 8 bags that I had packed up in the van that I showed you in the house at the beginning of the vlog. And I went through to add some contrast to all of those black balloons, as well as use the 260s that were holding the clusters together to combine the wall into one solid piece. I do plan on doing another vlog simply on showing you guys how to do the balloon wall this way. I did find this to be a lot easier, so I'll do a small version of this for you guys very soon on the vlog. So later on, I'll be showing you where this wall will be going. It won't be going here. This is just being set up in this area because the area that the wall will be set up in is actually where the cash registers are. And if I put this huge wall back there, it would have prevented them from working. So I had to set it up on the side. Originally, I wanted to put the wall in front of the cash register when I went to do my walkthrough and site visit to see what suggestions I would give them for balloon decor, but they decided that they wanted to use that countertop space for other things, so it was going to go behind the counter, which is why I kind of stuck with doing the smaller size balloons. I had bought a whole bunch of huge orbs balloons and huge marble balloons to add to this wall, but it just didn't become necessary because it would not have fit behind the counter, and then half of the wall was going to be hidden behind the counter. The whole point of the wall was pretty much to hide the huge open kitchen area that was in there, as they wanted to transform this space so that it didn't look like you were in an actual, pizza restaurant. Next up on this event's install was to create a balloon garland. I did not have room to fit this in the truck, so I did have to create this whole entire garland on site. Only thing I did have were the fillers to add onto the base once I finished with that. I think it came out super cute. Last thing I had to do for this event was get the ceiling covered with the helium balloons. The next thing I'm going to do is go release those into the venue and cut the strings and curl the ends. And here's where you'll be able to now see where the wall went to hide the kitchen area. The opening was very big and the balloon wall was perfect. All right, so we are about to go pop the balloons that I set up yesterday for the event. They still look pretty good. The sun is out, so it is starting to get the ones that are down here on the bottom for the most part. They still look really, really good. So we're gonna go inside and see what's going on. How's it going down here, Coda? How's it going? You popping them? Alright, we'll keep going. We got a long ways to go. So next up on the list of things to finish up today for this installation was to pop my gorgeous wall. As you can see, it did really good with lasting throughout the night. It probably would have stayed up for a couple months if they had the room in the restaurant for it to do so. But yeah, I just basically used 2 thumbtacks. If you're wondering what we're using to pop the balloons, I just used some thumbtacks because I knew Dakota was going to want to help. And I was able to get everything done. I was in and out of there popping all of these balloons in about 25 minutes.